I am not going to put this lady on the camera, but we're sitting here going to have a conversation. We came outside for this because I'm not the only one that's seen what I've seen at this bus station today. So what did you see?
Well, I saw yesterday too. I saw that they had these little Mexican kids came in on the bus, and I just saw these people, yesterday with all these little kids coming. Two ladies had a sign. They directed them inside of the corner of the bus station.
Yeah, as they did today, they put them all in that corner.
Yeah. Like today, they did the same thing. But the thing of it was that yesterday they didn't have the man to give them a bus ticket for their kids because he said they didn't have no bus ticket, but they didn't want to give them. He didn't want to give them no ticket, but yet still the little kids and the people got on the bus, and the days was the same thing.
How old were the kids yesterday?
Little bitty kids, about like 2 or 3, little kids. But they had more adults than kids today.
They had more adults than kids.
Like teenagers.
So how old would you say the people that were carrying babies, how old do you think they were?
12.
12?
Yeah.
So they're not adults, the ones that are carrying them little babies?
No, they about like 12.
No? You say it too. There's another lady here. Look, it's just your voice. I'm recording. I am trying to help with the human trafficking in the United States. Yeah, I'm just going to put this so I can hear your voice.
There was one lady, she looked to be maybe between 10 and 12, and there was a little small child, probably 2 or 3 years old with her.
Yeah.
They were, the little girls were young, she was
Yeah.
but they were so young.
They are trafficking children through the bus stations. I really believe this, and there is 2 other women that are older than me that are sitting here. They don't want to be on camera. They let their voice be on here, but they're seeing the same thing. I'm starting to see the bigger picture, and they're trying to kick us out of the bus station and discourage us while they're keeping us distracted. What's going on right underneath our noses?
I asked them about that, and she said that. She said, well, it's perfectly legal. We have people from the United States that sponsor these kids' trips down, and she said it's perfectly legal. So then I said, well, you know what?
Yeah, it's perfectly legal to kidnap them and collect money.
Yeah. Because it's not. It's too many kids for adults, and them little 5 adults don't have all them kids.
No.
They don't.
And today, when the first load that got off, it was a bunch of young teenage boys.
Yeah, it was most of the boys.
They are actually have to be employees of this building or people that own this building.
They push the little code and come out from where the ticket collectors be at.
They go back where the ticket people are. You have to have the code to get in the door. And these people don't ask. They go push the code in, and they go behind the counter into a room, and then they come out.
On the bus.
I do know the first bus load that just left is heading to Florida and Mississippi. So the second load, I don't know where they went. Actually, the little girl that was wearing the clothing line from that store, and I recognized the clothing line. I was in the bathroom. I wanted to see if the little girl would show eye contact or emotion. And when kids are being trafficked, they don't like to show the eye contact. They're constantly looking down, and they're not allowed to speak to you. And I got that confirmation.
Damn, killer. It's so good.
June 15th, 2021, Candace Bly went to a local swimming hole with her daughter, Summer Wells, her mother, Grandis, and a boy named Hunter. What happens in the next few hours is the biggest mystery in the Summer Wells case. In the early hours, Summer Wells' disappearance, there were rumors that Candace Bly had to return from the swimming hole and drop her off Hunter. Didn't stay on the hill. She left and returned home much later. When a family member reported Summer missing, where did she go when she left?
We all know that Summer Wells went missing, and if you accept what the TBI tells you, it was in the early afternoon. The last time that anybody outside of her family, and when I means that, is anybody that lives on 110 Ben Hill Road, that had seen her or seen them with her was true. H would have been dropped off approximately 2:15. By her, what True said, it was no later than 2:15 because he had to get ready and go to a doctor's appointment, which we find out, if you believe Andrew Hill, his dad, was at 3 o'clock, and I have issues with believing him.
Austin?
There you go.
Yes, because I talked to him about it.
It's fine. Wow.
He won't tell me anything, but he just looked at me and said, well, I know you're watching all this YouTube stuff, so ask him where that 4 hours went before she called the sheriff's office.
Dude, do you know what 4 hours before is? That's when she dropped off Hunter. She called it like 6:15.
I don't really know what he meant by that, guys, but he told me to ask you all that.
And she dropped off Hunter at 2. That's what True said, was at 2.
Oh yeah, that's right. Two.
And the cops were called at...
The calls came in at 6:23 and 6:21.
That means... That would mean that she would have had to drop Summer off somewhere after Hunter... She dropped off Hunter, or like... Whoa.
That would have put them going back towards, not to, but towards Ben Hill Road, and arriving there about 2:30. We're going past there around 2:30.
Yeah, bro. The TBI had came down to that gas station your wife was at. Yeah, that was when we knew she had actually left 2 times. We don't even know how many times she left. She was by that thing was a fucking upstate New York toll road.
Here, a car coming down Candace's driveway, and her talking to somebody, which I assume was somebody in the car with her. But as I hear her getting closer, I come back out the creek and jump up out of, and then into the roadway, and she's in Grandis's vehicle, and which, kind of confused me at first because I was looking like flash red earlier, and I thought, well, that would have been the first vehicle in line. Grandis's was ahead of it, so that's why she's in Grandis's. And so anyway, when she pulls up, she's on the phone with Donnie. Donnie's on the phone with her, and I didn't even realize the time, it just didn't hit me. But the first thing I said, Candace, is I heard her scream, I'm sorry, I didn't know. And then I realized Donnie's on the phone. And Donnie says something like, so you're telling me somebody's taking my baby girl or something? And I'm like, I'm sorry, I didn't know, I didn't put it together, enough time, like, right?
Alright, so this shows 110, look what I did. You go down the driveway, see how it shows the driveway going down? Going down Ben Hill Road, stopping at the stop sign at Ben Hill, making a left onto Beach Creek Road, following it. These are all the people and places that she passes on the way out. So there's the alleged footprints there. There's blue dots going up that she passed, coming up on. All right, she passes Fields Road, and if you know these names, now you have Chad and his brother Billy. They all live down that way. All right. So that's Van Hill Road. Hold on one second. Let me pause this. Where you see that yellow mark right there in the blue, road where we're following, that's Van Hill Road. That's where that turns. That's where Don would have got his DUI.
We are diving deep into maps tonight. We're looking at locations and how they connect and why they connect. You're going to be shocked. Because something Don Wells said in the end is going to make sense.
I don't know, he said he had to sacrifice her for her sins. I'm guessing that he had her, I don't know, but he was a dope head, he was a cocaine addict, and he was a meth addict, he was a drunk. I mean, he was violent. And then, like I said, in May, when I went over there, I asked her if he had been out on one of his binges, and she said, no, not yet, but I feel like it's coming. He left the same damn night and never came back for a week. Nobody knows who his dealer is down there, though. But like a lot of people said, you get mixed up in the cartel, and owing people a lot of money. They'll make you give up on your kids, or they'll kill your whole family. And where Summer was blonde hair and blue eyed, I'm from Beach Creek, and I know from a fact, kids don't disappear down there. They never have. So I don't know what game or whatever they're playing, but then again, my daughter said that they were packing her a suitcase to make her go away, as she was taking a trip. My daughter was there on that Friday before that Tuesday she was missing.
Was you there?
No, Summer's grandmother brought my daughter home.
My daughter came home that day because Grandma brought her home. And she came home and told me that they were packing a bag for her to go away. And it was only her going, not the boys, that her and Daddy was taking a trip. That's what they told my youngin'.
What if Mary figured out something, heard something, was accidentally told something? Because there's always been this story where Don has attempted to sell one of his children before and got caught and wormed his way out of it. Ronnie Lawson says that there was never an issue, never a bust, never a problem on Ben Hill Road. Factually, he's right. But it doesn't mean the issue didn't exist. This trading post was an outreach, an extension of some of the product that flowed through Knoxville. Came up through Cock County, however you want to say it, C-O-C-K-E County. And actually one specific town, which we'll get into a moment. This will be the one and only time that I talk about this town. I've mentioned it before, but we're going to talk about it tonight. There is a town in just outside in Tri-Cities area in Tennessee. That's called Greeneville, Tennessee. And to some locals in Greeneville, or as they actually say, Greeneville, Tennessee. Greeneville, Tennessee, has a math problem. They have problems down there. It gets traffic through there. A lot of people down there are on that drug. Don Wells' property never had a good reputation. Don Wells always wanted to be a bigger figure than anybody would allow him. It was almost as if they always said, he's pushing too much, he's trying too hard. We have to keep our eye on him. He was used as a trading post. And to be frank and honest, he is a runner. Or was a runner. Yes, I am saying exactly what I mean by a trading post. There was a point in time, not only were illegal items that people would use to make themselves high flowing through there, there was also the oldest industry in the book, in the world, that happened there. I mentioned that there was a issue, or that I believe that they were runners. They did a lot of running. And I mean a lot. To try to gain favor.
Did your daughter see a suitcase packed for summer around the time she went missing?
Yes, she did. She's told me when Granddad brought her home that morning, she said that she seen a suitcase and it was packed, that her and her daddy was going away, and it was just her and her daddy. Nobody else was going. It was just her and her father going. And yes, my daughter has talked to the police. Yes, my daughter has talked to FBI. So yes, they do know.
Take a look at what direct line from Greeneville where you can get to. Look at that. It puts you in Knoxville. There is more than just Don Wells and Candace Wells moving this information, moving this product, moving this stuff into the area, through the area, as a mule. So I'm going to go back to what was said by Mary. Drugs, moonshine, Barry was talking to the lab. And what if she knows something that she's trying to tell us? Human trafficking. What if she knows that Summer's alive and that a despicable act of her father selling her happened? The lowest of low moments it would have to be to sell your own child. And that I've referred to the Wells property until the community that's been covering Summer Wells by a couple different phrases. An activity that I've always heard and come to know as a local happened. I've had a certain code or codes of phrases. One of them that I'm discussing and really talking about tonight is why I call it a trading post.
Christmas time, I swear to God, I thought I was seeing Summer. I could still see her, that little girl, to this day.
There was a time that there was a story surrounding Summer Wells that somebody used that said they came from Florida. If you think back early on, that they were from Florida and they came up and they described the Wells property better than you can view on Google Maps. They came up here to party. Drugs were trafficked through Ben Hill Road. There's a reason why Don says he knows who Playboy is.
And my parents were, they had rooms where they was cooking dope and...
Does she remember the name of the hotel or motel?
No, but she knows the guy that was over her was named Playboy.
Like her...
He was a colored boy.
Oh,
yeah.
So like her pimp or the guy that...
Right, he was like that. He was like the boss over the whole ring down there.
Playboy. But did he own the motel or not?
No, Habib owned the hotel, which I guess was an Arab.
Oh, imagine.
And she said there was never hardly anybody in the hotel part. Maybe one or two people a week, maybe. But that's not where they made their money anyways.
Wow. So, okay, Playboy.
The one thing I assure everybody tonight is that none of this, if Mary is right, none of this was by accident. Part of the theory of what I believe happened is that there was something more nefarious planned for the 15th. But the sudden illness interrupted and caused everything to change. Was this that incident? What I saw, what I felt, however you want to say it, my intuition, what gut instinct, whatever you want to say it is, was suggesting it would have been so easy to make an exchange at Greeneville, because it's this little gas station. And when I mean a little gas station, it has a lot of traffic going through it, but most traffic is Greyhound. The most traffic that goes there is Greyhound. It would have been so easy to have somebody meet Summer and take Summer to Knoxville from Greeneville if Greyhound was used. Or even if they just did a car-to-car exchange at this point. Nobody would have paid attention. Timed it right for a bus to be arriving. No one's going to pay attention to somebody getting in a car with a little kid and zooming off. To the Greyhound page, the schedule page for Greyhound. Take a look at this, folks. We're going to switch my page around. We're going to go back to the Greyhound page, the schedule page for Greyhound. Take a look at that. There is one of the few stations that Greyhound has left in Northeast Tennessee. There was one in Bristol. There was one in Johnson City. They've closed them. Who keeps slipping up and saying 5:30 p.m.? 5:30 p.m.
And I asked my daughter why she was at home so soon. She said that, here comes the suitcase thing, said that her dad and her was going away on a field trip and she had to come home. On a trip somewhere. They were going away for a couple of days and she had to come home. She's seen them putting clothes into a suitcase. She also said that she picked out her favorite dress to take with her. I mean, which she did. She had a favorite dress. It was pink and it was Paw Patrol. It was the pink Paw Patrol. She went there on a Tuesday night. And she was supposed to stay for a week because it was in the summer and she was out of school and they were supposed to go to wetlands and stuff like that because my car was down. And Candace said, let me have her. We're going to go to wetlands. I'll pay for it all. Me and Dawn will take care of her. And I'll bring her back to you on Sunday evening when we get back, or you can pick her up. We just stay in touch and I'll let you know. Well, I didn't have time to stay in touch because Friday morning about 10 o'clock, Granddad was bringing my daughter to the bottom of the hill and dropped her off at my house.
Right.
Where I lived at that time in Bayletson.
Or maybe ask her about the 5-minute detour to the gas station where she went in the bathroom and didn't buy shit and walked straight out. And then shortly behind that, the TBI came by and got that footage, right? Ooh,
Now, we were told one more stop, and we were never told where that was.
Well, we were told that she went to a gas station, but it wasn't the gas station that they are saying.
Yeah. We were told that there was an extra stop at another gas station. And this is early on.
Why do these people stop at gas stations and go into the bathrooms? What's up with, the bathroom thing?
She's over here. She's over there. She's in the gas station in the bathroom for 5 minutes and didn't buy anything and didn't say anything to anybody. It's an establishment that she frequents quite regularly. I won't go into what the TBI agents told the lady who turned over the footage. But Robin Lane has heard something like the same thing she heard. And Robin Lane and the manager at the gas station, babe, they don't even know each other.
He was into shooting up really bad. He had so many tracks all over his arms and his legs. It wasn't even funny. Yeah. I know he was doing a lot of cocaine because him and Pam came to my house one night. Oh God, I was so pissed off. Oh man. Okay, so they come in with the kids, probably 7, 8 o'clock at night. She sits down. Donnie goes straight to my bathroom. We're sitting there and we're talking, and God, like 30 minutes had gone by and he was still in the bathroom. And I looked at Pam and I'm like, what's going on? Is he okay? What's he doing? And she goes, oh, he's in there shooting up. And I was like, what? I literally freaked out and I'm like, no. That can't happen in my house. So I went and I started banging on the door. And I'm like, Donnie, get out of there, you know? Well, he never came out. And she looks at me, Pam looks at me, and she goes, well, he's getting sick. And I said, what? She goes, well, when he shoots up, he gets sick. He'll probably be in there for like another 20 minutes. And I was just like, oh my God. So there really wasn't much I could do because the door was locked and I couldn't get in. And about 20 minutes later, he comes walking out and I looked at him and I said, you get the hell out of my house right now. You are not doing that crap, not around my kids. It ain't happening. Get out and don't ever come back.
I know some people are going to say, man, this is a stretch. This is really crazy. St. Clair was crazy. This makes sense.
At least 20 police cars surrounding a Greyhound bus. A concerned citizen reported a case of possible human trafficking on the bus. It had left Union Station.
This isn't something new.
Goodrich is the executive director of From Silenced to Saved, a group that helps victims of human trafficking. It's a problem, she says, that's growing worse. Goodrich says human trafficking is all around us, but many times it goes unnoticed.
Trafficking of children is a sneaky crime. You may not even realize it happens in the Tri-Cities. That's because it flies under the radar most of the time.
I'd say that it happens here just as much. It just looks a little bit different.
Grow Free Tennessee advocates for trafficking survivors right here in Northeast Tennessee. They argue that you'll find child sex trafficking anywhere there are vulnerabilities.
In more rural areas, and especially in East Tennessee, we see a lot of familial trafficking in disadvantaged areas, areas that there's a lot of drug addiction, poverty.
That means the most common way for children to be trafficked in Tennessee isn't through abduction or kidnapping. In fact, for the overwhelming majority, it starts in the home or with someone they trust.
Movie style, I guess, abduction, that's an extremely small percent of what we see. Does it happen? Yes, right? But that's not usually our main issue.
The TBI looked into over 100 human trafficking incidents in 2019. They received over 700 tips to their hotline last year, and for 2020 so far, they've already received nearly 600.
This morning, the Metro Police Department, with our federal partners from Homeland Security Investigations, the FBI, and the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation, are conducting a search warrant at a home that involves human trafficking. We believe that a brothel was being operated out of this particular residence, and this is part of a larger scale investigation involving the 4 entities that I just mentioned. The search warrant being executed this morning is a federal search warrant that is under the direction of Homeland Security Investigations. Our police department will be charging 5 individuals who were inside the residence with promoting prostitution. When officers and agents arrived this morning, those 5 individuals all tried to run. All were apprehended. Some got actually a couple of miles away on foot near the lake. The investigation dates back well into last year. Now, one of the 5 persons in custody is wanted on outstanding Nashville arrest warrants for a shooting that took place on September 17th that was related to a brothel on Mount View Road. That individual is going to be charged later today with felony aggravated assault, felony reckless endangerment, and felony gun possession. So there's a lot of facets as part of this overall investigation. You have the potential for human trafficking. You have some federal involvement there. You've got the shooting that occurred back on September 17th. And we'll look and see where else the investigation leads us. As I said, this has been going on. This case has been developing since last year, and we're methodically taking it step by step. And that's what brought us to Hobson Pike this morning.
And is it fair to say, I guess, that Nashville is safer with the arrest of these 5 people?
Well, there is no danger to the community. I think the community can be assured that this police department and our federal partners have been actively working this investigation for months. Again, methodically taking it step by step. Someone asked earlier about the brothels operating in the city. Well, there are 3 that are now publicly known. The one here on Hobson Pike, the one on Bart Drive, where the triple homicide occurred back last September, where we determined that was a place for prostitution. And then, as I mentioned, the address on Mount View Road, where the shooting took place on September 17th. So there has been a lot of work by a lot of agencies into this particular case, and that work is continuing.
And speaking of the work, what's going on out here right now? I know that the rest of the people are also collecting evidence. What is the next few hours to play out here?
Yeah, so a federal search warrant is being executed on the home. So agents, federal agents, our officers, TBI, are going through the home meticulously looking for evidence related to potential human trafficking and obviously prostitution.
If I were to sell you a pill, how many times can I sell you a pill or a gram of coke or a gram of meth? Once. Once you consume it, it's gone.
Mm-hmm.
How many times can I sell you a woman or a child? Hundreds. Hundreds of times.
We fucking do. If not for those pesky meddling kids.
Back to what I do. Catfish, Billy, baby, hello, how are you? Yo, I 9 rappers like a power line, fell into a swimming pool. I think I got the whole crew. Ooh, let me know what y'all wanna do. I bought a 30 pack of creek water, baby boo. Not a 99, not a 99.99, not mine. I got 100 proof.
They're gonna be sorry they were ever born. Who? All of them.
Swing low like a gold-plated crucifix. Holy heart, hang Christ on a Cuban link. Do it my way, do it my way. Blood in my veins, the Messiah is alive. You can hear her in my swing low like a gold-plated crucifix. Holy heart, hang Christ on a Cuban link. Do it my way, do it my way. Blood in my veins, the Messiah is alive. You can hear her in my. I've been carving with this marble stone like Michelangelo since I was like 10 years old, and I was almost at the end of my wits when I saw my truth unfold. I was 25 years old, had that quarter-century glow. Safe and sound, box in the hound. What you gonna say to me now? Ace at the crown, I'll straight to the ground, cause I miss my life, aiming straight for the crown. The higher the climb is the greater the fall. Stiffer the drink is the deeper you sleep, and the more you put in is the more you withdraw, and the more things blur is the clearer I dream. Rely on me like the words of a saint, and nothing kill quicker than the burden of hate. The circle of time is the curve of your faith. It's pretty abstract, but I fuck with the shape. Loch Ness monster horns in a cave, flames of fury in the devil's face. And once you've conquered all that credulous race, the world ends cause you were 4 minutes late. Going safe and sound, fox in the hell. What you gonna say to me now? Ace with the crown, I'll straight to the ground, cause I miss my life, aiming straight for the crown.
There's a formula to it. A very simple formula. Everybody's a suspect.
Break down my walls, but I will rise again. Cause I stand tall in my environment. How could I ever close my eyes and stay silent since they try to take me down with their violence.